A very warm welcome, pool fans, from wherever you're watching. We are back live, as you could see from our MC. We kickstart the Women's Open. And the match on display we have is Bryant representing Canada and Liu representing China. In the commentary booth with me, my friend Ben Francis. Ben, nice to have you with us.
Welcome, everyone, and what a match we have to start this Women's Open. Brittany Bryant and Shasha Liu about to do battle, racing to 4, playing 10 ball, best of 3 sets. If it goes 3-3 in the third set, we will have a spot shot shootout. And I didn't see who won the lag aria. Did you see who gets to break first here?
No, I was just trying to look up the head-to-head between these two ladies.
Okay, we got Brittany breaking first.
Exactly. Now, you play and have played for many years in Canada. What can you tell us about this lady at the table?
Well, she's definitely our top female player in the country. Canada's a vast country, lots of really great players. So the fact that she's won, I want to say, in the range of 20 national titles. I know it's 18 for sure. She's won so many that I've lost count. It's a statement of how good she is with how many great players we have in Canada. She's got her hands full with this young lady here from China, Shasha Liu, super player. We've got to watch her lots in these big events.
Yeah, there is a significant gap in the Fargo rating between Shasha Liu and Brittany Bryant. Shasha Liu, she is at 764 and Brittany is at 679, so there is a big gap there, almost 100 points. So based on that, you'd have to say, Ben, the young lady from China, you'd have to make a favorite.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And Brittany will be up for the task, but she'll know it's a big task. Not the easiest opening round draw for either one of these ladies.
No, exactly. But, you know, I always say this, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. When you're playing these big events, or any world championship, any European championship, can you really expect an easy draw? I don't think so.
No, it's 64 players joining this event, all champions, all really good players. We're in for a treat, Arya. It's going to be lots of high-level 10 ball over the next few days.
Yeah, and such is the level from the Chinese players in any cue sports discipline. Chinese 8-ball, pool billiards, snooker, they're taking over. They really are. And I tell you what, Ben, I mean, they're opening facilities there where you have more than 300 tables, 1,000 tables. Most latest news I heard, thousands of tables. Can you imagine how serious they take the sport there?
Unbelievable. And we got to see a little bit of it on display last week with the Hayball World Championship completing, and what a tournament that was to watch. Super long race, 8 balls. Really fun to watch the patterns and how good they are.
Yeah, and one thing that really strikes about these Chinese players, they're very proficient in the technical department. None of them seem to have this unorthodox style of play. And I don't know about yourself, I'm a big fan of solid fundamentals.
tell they're really raised. Absolutely perfect fundamentals, taught really well from a young age. Nice to watch. Let's see. Brittany has really good fundamentals as well. She gets down over the ball really good. Her dad was a super player, and you can see on her sleeve there, she hosts a tournament every year in honor of his name and raises a lot of money for the Canadian juniors to help them get to big tournaments. And I'm a huge fan of Brittany's because of everything she does for the game. But also because she's such a great player, of course.
Yeah, nice touch, Ben. I love these type of stories. It's not only what you do on the table. Sometimes the stuff you do off the table is worth mentioning. And, you know, we can only applaud and appreciate anyone in the history of the sport that's actually had their part in growing the sport.
So if you see Brittany at an event and she's running around with posters getting SVB to sign them, that's what it's for. She gets a whole bunch of memorabilia, then she'll, you know, sell it or raffle it off, auction it off, and use the money raised to help the Canadian juniors get to big events.
What a great shot that was.
Yeah, super shot. She's got a thin one here on the 8, but the cue ball's coming natural towards the 9, so nothing to do but pot the ball. Gets it down into a tight side pocket. Looks like she's going to put the first game on the board, which is ever important against a player that's 100 points higher than you in the Fargo. You want to put a little pressure on Shasha over there and make her think about it early. Yeah,
exactly. And not only for your opponent, for your own... Ooh, that wobbled. For your own confidence as well, right? It's always nice to settle early and be involved in the match rather than have a slow start and having to deal with everything that comes with having a bad start.
Yeah, first game and the last game, always the hardest two to win, so nice to get that out of the way early. And a quality out. She came up a little short on the 7, made a really great recovery. Super shot down the rail, past the side pocket. Early days in the stats, but we do have one missed shot from Shasha. Keep an eye on that stat. It's one I'm always looking at. We do have another round of the ladies coming up after this, scheduled for 4 o'clock. Followed by some doubles action coming up. I'm excited for that, Arya.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly because it's mixed doubles, so that is a very fascinating element as well. Oh, she's lost the cue ball there. That's unfortunate. Now her only saving grace, you'd have to think, Ben, is here the positional shot 1 to the 2. And perhaps the 2 onto the 4. No, the 4 is down, my mistake. Onto the 5.
Yeah, and the 5 close by the 2 shouldn't be a big problem. Ball in hand on the 1 certainly helping her get to the 2.
It's a smart way to play position, because when you're putting the 1 into the side, that cue ball is running right into the line of it where it needs to land. So she needs to make a decision here whether she wants to hold for the 5 or maybe just bump into the 8 or the 6 for that matter. She's gone on the short side, but it's still okay.
Held it nicely. A little short there, but it shouldn't be a problem with the 7 hanging over the side pocket next.
That cue ball just held up in time. She can still send her cue ball towards the right side or the upper side of the table from this camera angle.
Just enough angle going to the right a little bit. Don't want to get caught cheating that pocket too much, that's for sure. Tight corners.
Yeah, tight pockets in general, particularly the side pockets. It's found out most of the players.
Yeah, you can see it from this angle how tight those side pockets are. She's looked smooth here. Good layout for her to loosen up the arm. Nothing too difficult to deal with. Short sets format, only a race to 4 goes by pretty quick. Usually it's only one mistake, maybe one dry break that'll be the difference maker. We'll get to see how Shasha is going to approach the break shot. I'm always curious in this format if they break from the rail or break down the middle like Brittany did.
Yeah, still early days, so need to wait a bit more to go further in the match and see how the stats add up.
Some other great matches going on. There are 4 tables being streamed here at this event, so if you'd like to watch some other matches, they are all on Pro Billiard TV on YouTube for free. Table 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thanks to Predator and the Pro Billiard Series, all the great sponsors you see along the arena boards there. For another amazing event, prize money increasing every time. These ladies playing for $27,000 to the winner of this event.
Now that's a very healthy purse, I would have thought, Ben. If I would have offered you that after the end of this match, I'm sure you would be happy to take it.
Absolutely. I think these ladies are super happy with the direction the game's going, and very thankful to Predator for showcasing all levels of the game and all the different disciplines. And I think it's really neat that they get multiple shots at the money when they come to these events. It's not just one event. They can play the doubles as well. And we saw 16 of the men playing the banks. They might have got 3 shots at the cash this week. A little short of the mark there on position. I think she just got bit of the slide off the rail, slowed down the cue ball speed. She'll adjust as the match goes on, but there's not a ton of time to work out there in these short races to 4.
Yeah, I was trying to do some research on Shasha. She's a former world 9-ball champion. And the top 2 most faced opponent, Kelly Fisher and Yasmin Ushan. Now, one thing strikes me about her. She's got an 83% win rate against Yasmin Ushan. And I would think that is some stat to be proud of. Because Yasmin Ushan is one of the finest cubists of all time in the female division.
83% win rate there is great. Absolutely. Anybody would be loving that.
Yeah, she's played her 6 times, won 5 out of them.
And I would imagine all in big moments too, on the big stage, under the lights, at World Championships.
Yeah, exactly.
Good shot there. Bumped the 5 over the side and got position on the 4.
A little thin on the forward. Needs to apply a little bit of right spin just to check the cue ball here. Nicely done.
Easy to overcut or undercut that one a little bit, but she put it right in the middle of the pocket.
Yeah, I always do wonder when I see these top talents coming from China. Do they only dedicate to American pool, or do they switch in and out between Hayball and American pool?
Yeah, I think some of them switch, but definitely a lot of them sticking to just one discipline, which I would have to agree with. I think if you wanted to be a world champion, you almost have to stick to one discipline. I mean, when it comes to the difference between Hayball and 9-ball or 10-ball is big difference. Little hampered here, over the 8, tricky shot. Well, maybe not even a full pocket by the 9 from this angle.
No, doesn't look like it. I suppose the only good thing is when she eventually makes the 7, she won't leave herself hampered on the 8-ball. That being said, where's that 7-ball finishing? Can you see a gap between the 9 and the 10?
I think so. I don't think she was trying to make that ball. Do you think she was trying to make that, or was that only a safety?
I'm on the fence on that one.
Yeah, hard to tell.
I mean, based on the cue ball, you think she was going for safe, right?
Safe, yeah.
If that's the cue ball she's tried to play for the 8-ball, well, wouldn't really make any sense to me. Brittany, yeah, clock found her out, didn't it?
Yeah, she didn't have a lot of time to make a good decision there and just had to try something quick. Didn't work out. She got a big slide there. You see that?
That's landed in no man's land, and if there's even remotely a chance that she can cut this 8-ball into the side, she can count herself very lucky. Well, she clearly can't. She's called the 8 into the top right corner pocket.
It's a long way away to be kicking at this.
This is a tough shot.
She's going 2 rails here.
Yeah, with an element of safety. I like the way she thought of that shot, and I'll tell you what, this is not a sitter at all.
Fantastic shot from Shasha there to get the cue ball pinned on the back rail. She'll take that. What a shot.
That is magnificent, truly magnificent. Made that look easy, and we both can agree that was far from being easy.
Pool can look so easy on TV sometimes, but yeah, that was 10 out of 10 tough. She's done well there too. That was no hanger. The clock running down. Some pressure on that ball. It's never easy after a really good shot too to follow it up.
Great reply. Receiving a well-deserved applause by the crowd there, acknowledging how good the 3 shots were.
Good sized crowd forming in there too. Free to watch in person. Definitely worth checking out if you're anywhere near the area. Lots of tables to watch. Lots of seating around the 2 arena tables. Still only 1 missed shot. Through 3 games, pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something you can come to expect from these top professionals. Oh, that cue ball. It's the last place. I want to see that cue ball going.
She's corrected well because on her last break she mishit it sort of on the other side of the 1 and it went in the side pocket. This one she caught it a little more square, but it just didn't pop and drew straight back in that corner. The 4 ball might have come to her rescue here, pinned to that 10, and I'm not sure there's any easy way to get it out. The ball's sort of near the middle, nowhere near it. I think she's overran the first shot. I'm sure she wanted to be just a little bit straighter in on this 2 ball. She might be moving the 3 here. Yeah, into the 3, moved it. What's next?
Yeah, I'm not so sure if she can avoid the scratch into the top left. If she can, there is a slight chance he can develop the 4 here. I think she's playing safe, you know, behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I think that scratch into the upper left was pretty natural and hard to avoid.
But has to be said, by our own high standards. That was not as good as should have been.
Great shot. Not only has she got safe, but she's developed the 4. Now there's a 4-10 combination looming. She's also done really well to hide both balls there.
Exactly.
Not only the cue ball, but she managed to find cover with the 2 behind the ball as well. 3 ball rather. It sounds like she hit it, but no, the cue ball got lost. I'd assume it was rail first off the back of the 3 to find that scratch. Great chance for Brittany to get on the hill here in the first set.
He's that cue ball to slow down. He was tracking towards his left pocket, left middle pocket. I say left. That's the right middle pocket, by the way, but
I'm sure she didn't want to have it on that line. The speed was good, and this is an absolute hanger to get 3-1 up in this first set. Okay, this tells us something. No early 10s.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why 10 ball is by far my favorite discipline. I'm not a fan of early 10, early 9, even though I know it adds to the drama and adds to the, overall play. But I need you to beat me, not fluke 1 ball.
Yeah, I much prefer no early 10s as well. I think just sometimes with the racking, the 10 can end up near a corner pocket too much. We're going to see it lots this week, I think.
Likely to stun the cue ball on and off the side rail for the 6 into the same corner pocket. Try to hold it, and that's fine, but she's a little bit limited with her cue ball now, since it's almost glued to the rail. Luckily, she's left herself a nice angle to send her cue ball mid-table. Slightly overrun, not slightly, vastly overran that.
Yeah, they're just not quite dialed into the speed yet.
She'll have to come up with a big stroke here, Ben. This is not easy. The putt, that is very doable, but to get the cue ball into the right line is the most difficult part of the shot.
Yeah, it was a big ask. This should be behind the 8.
Ooh. Very makeable jump, has to be said, but she is a bit lucky there. Now at this level, Ben, you would expect your opponent to make this probably 8 out of 10?
Yeah, I was going to say easily more than 50%.
Well, commentators crept in there.
Well, I think just early days, right? If you give them another couple of games, another match or 2, they're going to get settled in more and mistakes will disappear. Cue ball control will be a little better. But yeah, didn't get over the 8 ball there. It was surprising.
Nothing heroic here, just connecting the dots. I say that, and I think she's left herself pretty straight on the 9.
Always nice to have that 9 ball near pocket. Just makes getting to the 10 that much easier. Just the stop shot would be fine. A little roll, yeah.
10 ball corner.
On the hill in the first set. Looking at a small upset here in round 1.
Yeah, just a reminder, we're playing best of 3 sets, raised to 4. Needless to say, Brittany is favorite to take the first set. As we see some of the stats here. Table time pretty much even. And the one stat, like you mentioned earlier, Ben, the missed shots, 1 each. So that's still solid stuff.
2 fouls on the break from Brittany, but only been punished on 1 of them. That's a big stat there. The score could easily be 2-2. She's moved to the side on the break, which I'd have to agree with. Still almost scratches, though.
Her facial expression says it all.
Yeah, she can see the 1 with a pretty routine safety, but it is a lot of distance there.
And I'm just wondering, Ben, how much does that 10 ball hinder her in this shot here? Perhaps not as much as you would have thought initially. That nudge hasn't quite gone to plan.
It's caused another problem in this rack, and the 2 balls already in jail. Might be a play off the side of the 2 to make the 5 later. That 6 tied up near that 7 ball is going to be a problem later on.
Beautiful.
Need to play the combination here. Get any kind of position on the 2 next. Sides are tight here, Aria. They're real tight, these side pockets. You mentioned it in game 1, game 2. You got to see it there.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if she can play a 2-way shot here. That 6 and the 7 is tied up. Now, presuming she can control the 2 in making the combination, it will hang over the middle pocket, I should say. So this is a good chance to run her cue ball into the 6 and the 7.
Yeah, good call there. That's exactly what she's done. 2 ball didn't quite stay over the middle as much as she'd hoped, but I think she can still cut this one in.
Yeah, it seems like she has a path to go around the 8 and the 10 there.
Yeah, 3 rails around to the short side of the 3.
Ooh.
I think she caught the 2 a little thick, and it slowed down the cue ball a bit. She caught a slide. Didn't get where she needed. Now she's got kind of a tricky safety here. There's nothing easy. Can she try to get maybe under the 7 again while still containing this 3 ball?
Oh, right in between the gap.
And I think she was okay with that. Just making sure she contained the 3 there was the high priority. She's left a long one on the 3 for Shasha.
You could hear the referee on the background. 3-ball called. She is going for this.
She always had this as a backup plan. Maybe not behind the 7 and the 10, but leaving distance was always going to be most likely the outcome. See, overcutting it. That's what she was looking for on that shot. If she wasn't going to make it.
That's what we call missing it on the professional side. It's always an outcome you can expect if you overcut it on and off the side rail. Needs that cue ball to run a bit further. Now she hasn't left a shot here, maybe a combination, but do you think she'll even entertain the combination? I don't really feel like she will.
No, I think thin off the side of it and try to get safe somehow, but it's not easy from here. Brittany's played a good shot to get that 3 onto that side rail where the 9 is blocking it. She's called the bank to this lower right pocket. This is mostly about the cue ball.
Wants that cue ball to run a bit further. The only good thing here for Shasha is that 6-ball is mostly covered by the 7, so Brittany will have to come up with a big stroke here if she wants to play position while spotting the 3 on to the 6. It's not going to be easy from here.
It's a long way back. Let's power up the stroke here.
Now these are the type of shots, Ben, where you really need a good pause on your backswing, and not only that, you need to keep still on the shot. Any body movement can make this twice as hard. Good cueing required.
You mentioned it, and we saw it there. You could see just a little bit of head movement. Just lifting a little bit, but powering up for a stroke like that, you're bound to move a little bit. Similar one from Shasha, but look at that stroke. Wow.
Home run.
Sweet.
Awesome. Now, in all fairness, we do have to tell the shot Shasha took, the pot particularly, was a bit easier than the one Brittany had to take.
Yeah, definitely made. Looking at the cue ball, being accurate on the cue ball a little easier than the one Brittany had.
Oh, where's that cue ball going? Where is that cue ball going?
What's she done? She tried to hold above that 8-ball, but I thought she would have just taken, you know, the natural line and go below it.
Will she entertain the bank here? Is there any value? I mean, the safety is by far the easiest option.
Yeah, can't really hide the ball is the problem. She will most likely let Brittany see it. Similar shot for Brittany. She's going to let Shasha see the ball when she plays this safe off the left side of the 8. 10-ball should hold the 8 relatively where it is now, so she'll be looking to just get the cue ball long. Oh, the 8 leaked out.
Yeah, that's gone wrong. I'd have to say, Ben, you'd be very surprised if Shasha does not clear up from here.
Yeah, and it looks like she's going to keep herself in this first set. It's not over yet. Short races can turn around really quick. Stats will start to tell a tale now. We've got a couple missed balls for Brittany, 3 for Shasha. Break success, a big stat here, 0% for Shasha. But I believe she's only broke once, so let's see if she can correct that stat a little bit. Five balls made for Brittany, 24 for Shasha, real close there. Breaking from the corner, trying to make the 1 or possibly a 4-railer, but neither one of those has happened, and it looks like Brittany's going to be able to see the 1, but no easy shot here. And the 2-ball in a tough spot as well, so even if she did play this crazy combo, which she has called, maybe still have to do something with the 2 after. From this angle, maybe it'll go in the side later.
She's left the carom here. That's a tricky one, particularly trying to control the cue ball here.
I wonder, does the 1-ball pass the 9 into maybe half of the pocket? And can she just play the 1? Yeah, good call. All right, looks like she is going to play the 9 some way or another, maybe with the combination.
I think she's trying to play the carom, just drop it in thin off the 1. Oh, that's unlucky. No, I was just looking at some of the stats there by Shasha. She's earned 75,000 over the course of all these Predator Pro Billiard series. That's a nice earning. Well, Brittany, she's played a whole lot less than her, and she's only earned 1,500 respectively. So of the 2 women, it is obvious that Shasha has played many of these tournaments and has been very successful in doing so.
Yeah, her name's always in the mix at the business end. Hard to overcut that ball a little bit, cueing over top of the 9 like that. She might be glad it didn't go in. She wasn't getting much on the 2 from there. She's left a mile away from this 1 ball for Shasha.
She could find herself in some trouble after this shot. It's a pretty easy stick behind the 6 ball.
Yeah, stop shot safety here for Brittany. She'll be trying to freeze her up on it though. Go for a little extra.
Yes. We should have been. Not. Service. Only 3.
It never took. Slippery cloth. It's a little harder to swerve it like that. The easiest layout, though, for Brittany to try to close out this first set. 2 balls in a precarious spot.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I'm slightly surprised she didn't leave herself straight into for that 1-3 combination, because that 2 ball played onto the 9. Perhaps she feels like she can't control the 2 bar. If she plays the combination, try to come around it. If she skims off it, which she's done, she's landed absolutely perfect.
Couldn't have worked out better. Stop shot to get on the 4 next.
Yeah, she needs her cue ball to come down where it is now, or preferably even a little bit further as well. Oh, wow.
Oh, she needs to make the 2 ball first.
I think she took it for granted, you know, Ben.
Yeah, it's super easy to just take the eye off the ball a little bit there, thinking you've already made the 2.
And actually, she was trying to cheat the pocket because she was desperately trying to come away from the side rail as well.
Yeah, you could see it good from that angle. It was cheat the pocket that got her. Surprised to see Shasha play for a combination here, though.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Playing both balls there was smart. Held for a nice angle on the 5.
And just like that, she's looking favorite to tie the scores, and she might actually nick the first set, which for all the world looked like was going in the direction of Brittany Bryant, but right now that is far from being a fact.
No way.
You took the words out of my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking. No way.
From that far away to double kiss it in. Just when you think you've seen it all. It's a diamond away when it kisses it again.
But she's not out of the woods just yet.
It can be really difficult to make the next ball after that. She drags this one in. Pretty sweet.
Well, man, she is for a reason a 3 times world 9-ball champion. Would it be ridiculous to say the momentum is fully on her side?
Yeah, and especially after, you know, a small slice of luck like that. It'll feel like that for Brittany, too. Brittany will feel like maybe it just wasn't meant to be in this set. But she'll remember that 2-ball. She had a chance at that rack first.
Yeah, exactly. So one final rack to decide who will get the first set.
See if Shasha can figure out something on the break here.
Here we go. Decide who will win the first set.
She was looking for the 1-ball on the side where that 9-ball was flying around off 4 rails. Neither one of those things happened.
I'm just wondering, Ben, has she potentially left a combination, 1 and a 7 here? That doesn't look straightforward, but unless she's trying to play safe, I don't see many other options.
Yeah. I just wonder, has the 8 covered it a little bit? I don't think so. She's eyeballing it. No, from here it looks like the 8 has it covered. Just a safety.
Yeah, she was desperately trying to avoid running into the 6. Couldn't manage to do that, and just wondering if Shasha can get to the putting angle here on the 1. If she can, this is her chance to nick the first set.
I think she can, even with maybe a touch of left spin. No, it wasn't there. Good safety, though. Nicely controlled.
Going for the long jump here. Never easy, these type of shots, Ben. Particularly trying to control the cue ball.
Oh, slightly easier with that air rush she's got. That new orange air rush. Style and cue. Oh, she just didn't get enough elevation on it.
Yeah, I must say, I didn't see the 4-ball combination.
Definitely not. And she tied up the 2-ball here, though. Does it go in that top left by the 8?
Yeah, if it doesn't go, I mean, it is very easy to play a good safety off the 2-ball. And I'm sure we'll figure out that soon.
I think it probably goes. Yeah, she pointed at the shape on the 3, so this has got some room.
Yeah, this is a clear-cut chance now, Ben.
She's got a little work to do with the cue ball. up and down from the 4 to the 5, 5, 6, 6 to the 7. There's some traveling here.
Yeah, but the majority of the balls are very close to the designated corner pocket, so it's all about keeping nice tight control on the cue ball. I must say, Ben, tell me if I'm wrong, I would be very surprised if she does miss here from this position.
Yeah, no, she's a huge favorite from here. And just the way the set has gone with Brittany kind of having a chance in the last game, and then Shasha making that, you know, double kiss shot. Looks to be her set to win.
No, she doesn't need to do anything fancy here per se with a cue ball. Wants to leave herself. I was about to say an angle to come off 2, maybe 3 rails now. It's going to be a straight drawback.
And reaching quite far. This is not easy. She wanted some angle on this. She didn't get it.
I tell you what, she might be okay, you know. She could still draw off the side rail and still land on the right side of the 7. And considering how straight she's landed on the 6, that's pretty fortunate.
Playing to the short side of the 7. Looks okay. Maybe one more good shot away from stealing this first set.
Yeah, I think that's the correct assessment. This is the final hurdle. You would have thought, putt the 7, get nice shape on the 8.
She's crashed into the 8. What's happened here? Well,
Bang shot at best.
Set's got another twist in it yet.
Yeah, and it's glued to the rail, so that bank shot has now become significantly more difficult. I wonder if it's even on.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. Is it even playable? The fact she hasn't called anything tells me no. And that hasn't got there. A chance for Brittany to do some damage here. Maybe a bank shot, but I think there's a high quality safe here with containing the 8 and maybe getting underneath the 10 with the cue ball.
She hasn't called a pocket for me, so probably playing safe, like you mentioned.
I wouldn't hate her playing the bank here. I mean, it looks pretty good from this angle. Side pockets are real tough, though.
I tell you, Ben, I'm still waiting for the referee to call up or acknowledge a corner, and she didn't call any. She played the safe, and she's done well there, but this is jumpable.
It's a really good shot. And if we can remember the last time Shasha jumped at a ball, she didn't get over it. So that could be in the back of her head a little bit here.
I don't know, Ben. She might have just heard you there.
Yeah, and now she's going to go for it a little more. She's going to hit this one hard. Hope something good happens.
Watch for the cue ball. Watch for the cue ball. Now then, Brittany, surely you will punish this mistake.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be all Shasha in this set. A little misplayed position on the 6. Left her a little funny on the 7. Crashed into the 8, and it all went wrong.
Well, let's not forget she was 3-1 up in the set, and it looked for all the world she's going to lose it, but somehow this routine 10 ball to close out the first set.
Yeah, it really was her set to lose up 3-1. See, it looks like little player timeout, so I think Arya and I will take a timeout as well. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't go far.
As we are back, Shasha kicking off the second set. She had a great chance there, Ben, to take the first set. She'll have to regroup.
Yeah, the timeout will definitely help, I think, in these situations. Just a minute to think about what happened and try to erase it from the memory. Looks like she's found a ball on the break here. That's a good sign. Just get right back to work. Five ball definitely in trouble here. The four's not far away from it, so maybe a chance to develop it or get close to it and play a good safety.
Yeah, I was doing some research on Brittany. I'll tell you one thing. I'm sure she would not mind to avoid Kelly Fisher in the draw. She's played her 12 times. She's only won once.
I would have to imagine there's a long list of players that have never beat Kelly in many attempts. World champion in 5 different cue sports is super impressive.
Yeah, without doubt. And the lady at the table, Shasha, well, she's played Kelly Fisher 6 times. She's only beaten her twice. So it is a roughly 25% higher win percentage, but it's still in the minus.
She made a super shot on the 4, but she's missed the 5. Didn't take advantage of the good shot. And you can see her hang her head just a little bit there. The emotions are starting to creep in. Early in set 2, but I feel like it's a big moment.
Yeah, I totally agree, Ben. And just like at the back end of that first set, Shasha made what we would consider an uncharacteristic mistake, and Brittany punished her for her mistake.
See if she can punish her again here and keep the momentum rolling in her favor like it has been.
Yeah, it doesn't need to do anything spectacular here with the cue ball. Just drop the 7 in. Let that cue ball roll. Maybe ball and a half further. She'll leave herself a nice angle. Although she's looking at to draw it back, that's also fine. And what's her angle here on the 8? That's good. She can use 1 rail, even 2 rails if she prefers. Believe just enough angle to punch the cue ball a bit closer to the 10 ball. And
Yeah,
just enough angle.
Yeah, somewhere along mid-table line she'd love to be. Be too far away from these 10 balls under pressure into tight pockets.
I must admit, Ben, I am a big fan of these tight pockets.
Yeah, I love it. I'm a huge fan. I think the game needs to be played on tight equipment when the level of play is so high, ever increasing. Players are getting better by the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure do hope that I'll witness the day where the winner of our majors in our sport can also come close to rival with the tennis. For example, when they win the US Open, they earn $3.5 million. Now that's serious money.
Well, pool's on the up and up thanks to companies like Predator, all the great sponsors. Prize money's getting bigger and bigger. Winner of the World 8 Ball this week, taking home $90,000. Pretty good chunk.
Yeah, that's a very good statement there, Ben. Predator has been a marquee brand ever since the start of professional pool. And I'm sure it will stay there.
Watch Brittany's break here. She's got the one in the side like she's looking for, but the 9 balls come in the way of the 2. Push out here, I think. So she can push the cue ball anywhere, and Shasha will have the choice to play it as it lies or make Brittany shoot from there. So a lot of strategy coming in here. A little bit of try to think what they might do. She left her the edge here. Is hit a jump shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's your answer there. Even if that would be an option, how do you get on the 3 ball? I mean, if I was in Shasha, her shoes, I would be thinking, go ahead. I don't mind you to go for the 2. Like I said, how do you get on the 3 ball?
Two-rail kick underneath. Certainly not what she had in mind from the push-out.
Well, I know one thing for sure. That outcome, nobody saw coming.
It's not how she drew it up. No early 10s, as we found out in the first set, so she'll make the 2, play the combination on the 10, and the 10 will get spotted.
And she can just roll the 3 ball into the 10, and it will stay there over the hole.
And with the 4 over the side pocket, a 5 over a corner pocket, and now the 3 over a pocket. It's not too much to do here. Around middle table here, little angle on the 6 would be handy. Such a nice target for a pool player. Middle table with the cue ball. Somewhere we get really good at finding. She's found it here. Perfect angle on the 6, come across for the 7 in the same pocket.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you make there, Ben, and it's without question one of the main routines all these players at any level practice is being able to cross the cue ball from side to side and be consistently finding the middle line of the table.
She'd rather not be shooting over the 10, but she'll be dealing with it a little bit from here.
Yeah, she can use the line of the head string as a reference point for a cue ball.
I like that. Always good to find little targets like that. Helps to have a bit of a visual.
Exactly. And also, same with the diamonds, of course. When you play in position, on certain shots, you can clearly see where that cue ball needs to travel towards. Now, I'm a bit surprised where that cue ball has landed. I mean, sure, it probably was off straight, but why so close to the rail?
You could see her hesitate a little when she hit it. I think she lost it just a hair. Should be okay, but missable anytime the cue ball's near the rail like this. I'm glad she didn't prove me right there. But she almost did. Wiped its feet on the way in, as they say.
Yeah, and I was about to say before she played that shot is these are the type of shots where you really need to keep still. Here's a nice overview of the stats. Anything that springs up for you, Ben?
Yeah, nothing glaring. I mean, the 2 fouls on the break were big for Brittany, but it didn't cost her the set. So, yeah, nothing glaring here. Number of balls pocketed, 39 to 30. Or rather, in that first set there, 39 to 30. And she lost the set. She made 9 more balls and lost the set.
Yeah, that's the nature of rotational play, 9-ball and 10-ball. You can pot 8 balls or 9 balls and miss the most crucial one. And each rack will go to your opponent.
Well, they've both found the 1 ball on the side now. Good sign for things to come. But the balls never open super wide when you break from the side rail like that. So we always see ball or 2 together on the side rail. This time it's the 5 and the 10. Tight corner pockets.
Yeah, particularly from that angle. When you hit the nearest knuckle, you don't normally drop.
Yeah, not at that speed, right? Be all about the 5 ball here. 2, 3, 4, pretty routine, but 5 ball's a big problem. The shot clock almost got her there. She'll be deciding now what she wants to do with the 5. Does she play the 5-10 combination? Can't tell from here, but I think from the overhead it looked not bad. Looked okay in a sense, where the 5 should stay near the 10 after the combination. Should be able to control it.
Yeah, ideally she would like to drop dead straight on the 5 onto the 10. Like you said, drop it in. It's her best bet to have a shot on the 5 afterwards.
She's landed nice on the 4 to come straight at that line of the 5 where she needs to be. And close to it. Overrun this one a little is going to make the combo much tougher.
Yeah, but not only making the combo, can she leave herself a shot afterwards?
Yeah, I'd like to say she might try to find a safety, but she took on a tougher combination than this earlier in the match. She hasn't called anything yet, though. So it is maybe safety. Has it held up in time? It hasn't.
It's hard to tell from this camera angle whether, well, she's looking at the potting angle, so that is telling me she can get to the potting angle. Yeah, that was a bad sequence of play by Brittany. First, when I say that, that cue ball is just held up in time. Firstly, the 4 onto the 5 was sloppy, and then second, she tried to play it safe and came up way too far.
Yeah, she overhit that safety by quite a bit. She had a little room for error there.
Talking about overhitting, she easily overhit the cue ball, at least a foot there.
Yeah, 2 shots in a row. She definitely doesn't have it on a string yet.
Doesn't need to do anything fancy here with the cue ball. Use the natural angle. Make sure you pot the 8. You would leave yourself an angle on the 9. She can even go around the angles here.
Yeah, I think a little 2 rails with the stun. Wrap it out of the corner a bit. Makes potting the 8 comfortable. Okay, leading 2-1 here in set number 2. She needs this one to force a third and deciding set.
Yeah, and quite astonishing, Ben, for the first time in its entirety of the match, she's in front.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have thought that coming into the match, but you can see here shooting 800 overall is pretty sporty, I think. Brittany at 714. She's playing a pretty good match herself.
Yeah, one of the stats that stands out for me is first shot after the break, 67% in set 2, as opposed to the 29% she had in the first set. So she's vastly improved on her break, and it's one of the biggest reasons why she is in front. And she looks like she is a strong favorite to take the second set to send us into a deciding set. Still a lot of 10 balls to be potted, of course, before we get to that point.
See if she can get that one ball down in the left side pocket again. Gets kissed right away. Nothing else is finding a home. The one's going to dress up for Brittany. Table's pretty open. Taking her time on this one ball. Getting good position on the 2 is the key, because the rest of the rack lays pretty nice. Just the 2 to the 3 might be the only small amount of work here.
I wonder, Ben, it's still pretty even for both players here, but would there be anything you would advise Brittany off the bat of, you know, what we've seen so far?
Yeah, nothing. She's played a good match so far, I think. Only a couple of mistakes. She's adjusted the break and made the one in the side on the last break. That would have been the only advice I would have given her out of the first couple of games, but she's played nice here and looks up for the task.
Yeah, fair statement. Like to use 2 rails here, since she is a bit thin here on the 3 ball.
Smooth stroke that was. Perfect position on the 4.
No, she doesn't have to go a whole lot closer to the 5 ball after the 4. That high angle on the 5 would do. Now she's got options here. You would have thought running into the joint of the 6 and the 8 is the best bet. Now she can also try and play position on the 6. Both come with a warning label. She's played position on the 6 and she's played that to perfection, has to be said.
Yeah, now just judging a little bump from the 8, I think, and holding for the 7 in the side.
Maybe she can cross over the cue ball into the where she is bridging over. There you go.
Oh, she's misplayed this one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she played it for the 7 into the side, but she'll have to take it up to the far left now.
She's got to make a good shot here, a long one under pressure.
Extension.
You can see how well she approaches every shot. Taking nothing for granted, always square into the line of the ball. Pays off a lot. She hits the ball super straight. I liked her drawing it there, but the speed had to be good, and I think she's got it wrong. Going forward there would have been preferred, coming a little closer to the 9 and in the line, but the slide is always hard to judge. They try to avoid the inside spin and the forward from there.
Now, I think she's called the 9 ball into the top right corner pocket from this camera angle. Off 2 rails.
Yeah, 2 rails, absolutely good call. All right, yeah, 2 rails makes it a bigger ball and better things can happen. This isn't the worst result.
No, it's definitely not a hanger. That's for sure.
Now she'll be thinking about how she mishit that 8 ball rather. Does she play the bank in the side here, or has she found a safety that she likes? Looks like it's the latter. Didn't get it there. Well short.
Yeah, she had one main objective there, and that's to keep the 9 ball safe. This is absolutely not safe.
Yeah, that's a big mistake, you could say, if Brittany manages to get this 9 ball down and have a shot on the 10. Great angle there of her cue action. Watch out. No way from there she scratches. Could say a touch unlucky, but maybe just didn't get as much spin or the correct contact on the 9. It's going to cost her most likely this set, not only this game.
Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't consider that unlucky, even though I'm sure she's entitled to feel that, is, you know, she had options with a cue ball. It's not like she was cueing over a side rail or a bottom rail where you're limited in the amount of spin you can inject into the cue ball.
Yeah,
huge miss.
I agree. I think she could have flicked it with maybe a little more right spin. Or maybe just caught it a little thick. On first glance, I thought she caught it a little thick. If she cuts it just a little bit thinner, the cue ball definitely doesn't go there. Always feels unlucky when you see it come off that end rail into the side pocket. Nonetheless, 3-1. Shasha looking to close out this second set, force a decider. And as mentioned, if they go 3-3 in that third set, we'll have a shootout. Doesn't get the 1, but the 4 railers come around and found the corner pocket. What's the 1 doing with the 5?
It looks makeable to me, Ben.
Yeah, I agree.
But how are you going to control the 1?
Yeah, it might be a bit of a guess where the 1's going to go here.
You might see 2 breaks in a row in terms of speed.
Yeah, not rolling into this one. I think hitting it with a little draw and definitely some speed. Well, how tight are these corner pockets?
I would say they play fair.
They're great. I love them. Makes for good viewing, that's for sure. We don't want to see the balls slopping in all the time. That one caught a lot of horns to stay up.
Look, I have a snooker background, so anytime I play on a pool table and the pockets are tight, I'm happy. That's a good shot there.
I think, did she hold up her hand? I think she was playing the 5 and maybe got a little fortunate. Judging by the little grin on her face, I'm going to guess that's correct. How's this hit? What a shot.
She called the 2 in the corner pocket, you know. And that was very close. Little tap at the table by Brittany. That was a very good attempt.
With
look at this.
With the shot clock running down, she might have only had 1 second left to shoot that. To find that line with time running out, it's extra impressive.
I don't know about you, Ben. I would prefer to pot the 3 here and then play the 4-5 combination. I wouldn't entertain send the 3 ball towards the 5. That's going to make it messy.
Yeah, much harder to control the 3 with the combination rather than control the 4 with the combination. That's what she's seen. Drawing back for the 3 in the side. Looks okay.
I'm not so sure if she can avoid running into the 4. If she can, maybe just slow down the cue ball with the 6. That will work as well.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to avoid the 4 here.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's thin enough. It's missing the 4. I thought it was going into the 6, and I think she thought it was going into the 6. Missed everything.
She's made it this awkward now for herself. Obviously, she's called a 5 here. Well, can she come off 1 rail, maybe even 2 rails now? I have to say, Ben, we can sit here all day and say she's been unlucky, but that's pretty poor from the beginning of the layout she was faced with.
Yeah, she misjudged it. It wasn't bad luck.
Yeah. It's likely to cost her the set, you know.
Yeah, just a couple of small errors. She'll still have a little bit of breathing room with that 3rd set. But it does look like that's going to be the case. These balls lay pretty good, all close to each other. Often the case in these sets, we see the better player in the opening round start a little slow, but manage to right the ship and come back. These sets format is nice for that.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's a shame we don't see that all that often. Usually it's a race to 9, race to 8, or whatever.
Yeah, I quite like the sets format like that, the best of sets. Straight in 10 to force a 3rd set.
Yeah. This is what we call a ball in hand 10 ball. And into the final set we go.
Looked like both players are going to stay in the arena. Don't think they were going to take the timeout here. They are allowed a timeout after each set. We have some other scores coming in. If you like to follow the scores, you can find them on ProBilliardSeries.com under the event section. And they are starting to trickle in. First round matches finishing off. Next round of matches starting in only 15 minutes, are you?
Yeah, well, one thing is for sure, I don't feel like that's going to start on table number 1.
No.
Actually, here's an interesting stat for you. The average of any, the rack times per set is roughly around just over 7 minutes per rack, I mean.
Per game, yeah. 7 minutes per game. Okay. No timeout for the players, so Brittany to break first rack of set number 3. 10 ball's gonna hang up. Nothing else gonna come close, so Shasha with the first chance here in the third set. Probably a push out. Can't see her jumping at this one or doing anything crazy, so plenty of places to push the cue ball and force Brittany to play a tough safety.
Yeah, I mean, she's playing a push out. Likely she's going to leave a jump shot or something because, or maybe get rid of 10 ball here.
Yeah, I like this. I like getting rid of the 10. Although, maybe not leaving the 3 over the hole. Would have preferred to cut the 10 in a little and maybe try to get the 3 to the back rail. Has a little insurance. But she did push to the jump. Brittany never left the chair. Gave it back right away.
Keep an eye out on the cue ball. Keep an eye out. Oh.
Jump safety behind the 10. How good is that?
Well, I think she's left a passage towards the 1, Ben.
Yeah, it looks like
it's very close.
Comes around the 10. Looks like it's going to glue close to the 9, but not quite.
Maybe there is.
Yeah, the back end of the cue in the air from Brittany tells me the 9 has covered it a little. Good hit. A good reward.
Well, big shot into the top left, maybe. Yeah, she's called the top left.
Yeah, a good example of how the player playing the push out, never the favorite. She had to push to that tough jump. Oh, look at this result. Wow. 2 balls big. Huge 2 ball.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think off the end rail here is a bit of a bigger ball coming in this way than maybe off the side rail.
3-ball corner. if you're going to hit the right portion of the 1 for the 3 ball into the corner, that cue ball is going to go close to the middle pocket, as it even did there.
Good shot, really. From where she was, she'll take that result.
Absolutely.
You can see she judged the bend of that cue ball really nicely coming off that end rail. Takes a big bend to the right, and she judged it nearly perfect.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether she played a side-to-side shot or send it 1 towards the 4 and the cue ball up table of 2, possibly 3 rails.
Well, she's not thrilled with the result, but it's not bad. I'm sure she's left anything good for Brittany here.
Oh, exactly.
At first glance, I thought the kick safety, but it's not easy at all. Easier to scratch in off than it is to get safe here. She might just be trying to touch this, buy herself another shot. That's exactly what she's done.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure she'll be thrilled that that 1 ball is touching the 4. It makes the tied in hook behind the 4 a lot harder.
She's called the 1. It's got to be about the cue ball going safe, I would assume. Well, maybe the cue ball going a little too safe. Oh, good position on the 2 ball.
Went for the cut there.
I can't blame her. I mean, cue ball was always going to end up a mile away, so there was some 2-way options, but just left the 2 ball pretty close to the pocket here. I think Brittany can make this one. Easy to catch it a little thick. Worried about too thin means you drive by it.
Yeah. Look, these little errors might seem innocuous, but they do add up, Ben. And, well, after the back of the second set, where Brittany didn't really have a strong showing, you kind of worry for her a little bit.
Yeah, momentum all on Shasha's side right now. Can certainly still flip, but a couple errors creeping in. Nothing easy here getting from the 4 to the 5. Small gap there. Didn't want to touch the 7, made a problem.
Before that unintended nudge on the 7, I was pretty certain Shasha would punish her opponent, but maybe there's still some life left in this rack for Brittany.
Yeah, I wonder if she can land straight in on that 7, would she consider the combination? Or will she try to do something cheeky here and play the 6 off of the 7 to try to bump the 7 in the open. Looks like she eyeballed the combination next.
Yeah, I feel putting the 6 off the 7 is a bit too difficult from this angle, per se. No, I'm not so sure, but you would have thought she would have preferred to land straighter than this on the 7-9 combination.
Yeah, she's called it, but this is not easy. I thought she might even contemplate a safety rather than this. Oh, nothing but net. Great shot. Right in the middle. Held the cue ball nice. But wasted opportunity.
Well. After having made such a challenging combination, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I never would have picked her to miss that 7 ball. Not after such a good shot. She's left a bit of a tricky one for Brittany with the clock running down. She's got to go up and down with the cue ball here. Oh, she goes into the 10, and this has worked out great.
Well, you said great, but considering where that 10 ball has landed, she'll have to come up with a big shot here as well.
Yeah, I'd like to change my statement to good. It's worked out good.
Needs to come across. Oh, she's played that nicely, you know. This is still not a hanger, but all things considered, I think she's played a marvelous shot on the 8 ball there.
Yeah, not as easy as she made it look with that touch of inside spin. She's done well there. She's got her nose out in front in set number 3.
Yeah, I just had the impression she fell off the rails for the majority of set 2, so I feel like this is very important that she can still get a foothold in the match in this deciding set here. As we see some of the stats. Shasha overall in the match, nearly 100 points ahead in the player overall performance.
Yeah, but 8 missed shots to Brittany's 6. So that overall performance not always telling the whole story. So one ball catches the horn. Nothing else going to find a pocket, so chance for Shasha here. Mind you, no open shot on the 1. She'll need to find some kind of safety or a very tricky combination. Looks like she's left a gap. I think Brittany can see through to this one ball. It's a long way away, but half chance to pot it.
That's worked out nicely.
She'll take that. Elevating the back end of the cue. She's going to add some speed on this one, I think. Yeah. Doesn't get it, but what's happened with the two?
Not that I have any affiliation with on running, but I did notice Shasha, she's playing with on running sneakers. Now, if you've ever had the opportunity to try them on, I can assure you they're one of the most comfortable sneakers you can ever wish to use.
On running, you say?
On running, yeah. One of their biggest brand ambassadors, Roger Federer, the tennis legend. Swiss company. Pretty pricey, has to be said, but quality.
Can't put a price on comfort, right?
No, when you play so many tournaments like she does over a calendar, you want to wear all the gear that is, suitable to your liking. A little hard on the cue ball there. I'm not so sure what she was trying to play there.
Yeah, maybe hoping the two would push a little further over.
And Ben, we should give both these ladies a bit of grace, because when a match is going on for quite some time, it is only human to drop levels of concentration at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. That's well said. These long matches are not easy. Hard to stay focused over a really long period. Pool takes a super laser level of focus. This is a really good shot from Shasha here. Quality safeties, cut off a lot of angles.
Two railer here, possibly even three rails. Would love to make contact with the two. All in hand. Would still mean trouble.
Yeah, nothing super easy on the two ball here from ball in hand. I wonder if she'll consider the two into the bottom left corner of that view. Or if she doesn't like it, the combination, but not easy to get position on the 2 from the combination.
Here's a close-up on a technique, textbook technique.
Yeah, nice loose grip there. The balls are pretty open from here, but she will have to move it around a little bit. It's not super routine. She's a big favorite to get out here and tie up this 3rd set.
Now, for some of the viewers who might have just tuned in, can you explain what would happen if the score goes 3-all in this final set?
Yeah, and the super exciting spot shot shootout would occur, where they would get 4 shots each at a spot shot. And if it was tied after those 4 shots, they would move to a harder spot shot, where it would become sudden death to see who moves on to the next round. It is double elimination in these opening rounds.
And if they can't decide the winner of the hardest spot shot, they'll do a 100-meter sprint down the venue. That'd be something, wouldn't it, with the cue in hand?
I would love that. Looks like a good safety here. It's not going to find cover, but she's contained the 8-ball. And maybe forced Brittany into taking on a bank shot here. She could hear referee's called for safety here, easily as tough as the bank, so definitely worth taking on the bank. Maybe get safe anyway. And if this goes anywhere except over the side pocket, should be safe.
Yeah, just ran far enough. I wonder, it's hard to tell from this camera angle, can she make the bank here?
Yeah, I don't think so. Not on the slippery cloth. I think it wants to slide long. Yeah, she's going to just try to 2-rail it and keep the cue ball on the end rail. This is not bad. But
nevertheless, it's still a chance. It's a difficult shot, but it is one of those shots we've seen her make in, I believe, in the 1st set, off the rail, with more or less the same situation, 3 balls to be potted.
Yeah, she made a great one in set number 1, similar to this cue ball on the rail, mile away. Not this time.
And she wants that able to drop into the side pocket, although cannot see if it has dropped or not. No, it hasn't. And that's even worse now. This gives Shasha so many better opportunities here to place her cue ball nice and tight on the 9-ball.
Well, look
That's
at
gone wrong.
this, Aria. Where's the 10 going now?
Yeah, she'll be hooked behind the 10. That's what's going to happen.
What a big mistake that was from the 8. Right in the jaws of the pocket. You'd favor her to control that a little better. What happened there?
A total misjudgment. That's the only thing I can think of.
Did she catch the 8 a little thin? It's the only thing I can think went wrong. Well, if something good doesn't happen here, she's going to be in big trouble in this set. Has she made it? No. I got excited there for a second.
Well done, Brittany. This is a great opportunity to poke your nose even further in front. Once
Big
again, Ben, keep still on the shot. Key feature in this type of shot.
Big shot here in set number 3.
No.
You could feel the pressure there.
Yeah, and her cue swung sideways. If you can see that in the replay, have a look at this. See?
Yeah, good find there.
Just tilts towards the left.
To the left quite a bit, yeah. Trying to steer that one in a little bit. Yeah, that was no hanger for Shasha, and she's going to have another tough shot here.
Yeah, how would you rate this shot? 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10?
Yeah, I mean, in your basement with nobody watching, you make it 9 out of 10, but in the arena, under the gun, maybe 5, maybe less. She's going to do a similar one, though.
A lot harder, this one.
Yeah, a lot harder, yeah. But an extra chance here.
Well, look, every credit to her. She played her cue ball purposely, knowing that if she was going to miss it, at least give herself a chance to not leave a hanger for her opponent. Well, so much so, she's refused to attack there, and that's a very, very nice pace she's picked up for the 10 ball. Now, yeah, she is calling a bank shot, which is not surprising, but for that 10 ball be so close to the rail makes this bank shot a lot harder.
Yeah, the speed from Brittany there was really good. And it's going to earn her another chance to win this game. Slightly easier one, but still not a gimme.
Once again, try to keep still on the shot. Push the cue through in a straight line. Just need to play this with... Oh, she's called it into the corner. I'm amazed by that.
Yeah, from the overhead, it looked like the side pocket was a better option, but only she would know.
What a shot. Fair play. What a shot.
Really good under pressure there. And now one game away from guaranteeing a shootout at the worst. Brittany Bryant looking good out there. And you would expect like a few more fouls, a few more misses, being it's the opening round. But once these ladies get in a couple of rounds into the tournament, start to settle in, we'll see these stats clean up a little bit. Looks like most of the opening round matches are finishing up. Couple still going. One ball gets kissed. Two balls close, but nothing else. Pretty wide open spaces here for Shasha to try to get on the board here in the third set. She needs this game.
Yeah, fair statement. No, in all honesty, on both racks she's lost in this final set. She's had chances.
Yeah, if she can get out here, it'd go a long way to help her confidence. She needs to start rebuilding it. Nothing easy from the 3 to the 4, though. Plenty of traffic, as we're about to see. She's going to need to dodge a couple of balls coming around here. Wow,
In between the gap. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And that's going to help her lots. She might have been feeling not the most confident until that shot. That should cheer her up a bit.
Yeah, this is something you hear some of the top pros talk about. When they play a big shot, they draw some inspiration. They kick back into high speed mode.
Yeah, I'd like to think we're all just one good shot away from figuring it out. Smooth on that stroke. That's a good shot as well.
Send the cue ball towards the middle diamond. Across the table.
Good speed there. Keep herself off the rail. Pretty natural coming towards the 8 here. A nice line. Thinking about switching hands. Okay, no problem with the lefty.
Yeah. You can thank Ronnie O'Sullivan for that. That's the man who's introduced playing with your opposite hands.
Yeah, I'm not sure there were too many players using their opposite hand till he started doing it, but none have perfected it as much as him.
Well, John Mora, I would say, but
He might be close.
that's injury related, so that's slightly different, but Ronnie will take the credit for switching hands, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, this 10 ball to get on the board here in set number 3.
Yeah, timely answer, Ben. And, you know, I was thinking, even though Brittany did win the first 2 racks in the final set, it's not without mistakes by her opponent. So that's never a great sign. I mean, if you win it convincingly, that's different, right? You're full of confidence, you're brimming with confidence. But when you're picking up the pieces, it doesn't feel like you're racing away.
Yeah, that's well said. I think Brittany would be sitting in her chair there, still not feeling the most confident, even though the score was 2-0 in that third set. She would definitely remember the mistakes she's made and count herself a little lucky to be 2 games ahead. You can see the overall player performance there for the match. Shasha considerably ahead. but trailing one game in the score here in the important set. Let's watch her one ball towards the left side pocket. She's been getting it close. She's got it down a couple of times. Doesn't get there with the 8 will.
Oh. Look at this.
Really great power behind that break to end up with 7 balls over that top corner pocket. Push out again. Might be pushed to a kick safety here. It's hard to let them see the ball. Players are so good now. It's exactly what she's looked at over here. And she might put Brittany in a spot where Brittany has to shoot it, even though it's quite difficult. I don't think she can risk giving this one back just to watch Shasha play the kick safety and freeze her up.
Exactly. Well said.
But I would like the chances if I was Brittany here. I think high percentage of the time that cue ball is going to stay behind the 4-2.
Yeah. It's about getting a full contact on the 1 off the top rail here.
Yeah, you said it best there, Arya. Not getting the full contact that she was looking for.
And I tell you what, Ben, I think that 1 does go past the 3 ball, and if it does, this is a good opportunity to tie the scores, because that 2 ball will also go into the top right.
Yeah, it does go. You see her call it. Yeah, and the rest of the rack lays pretty good after this.
Right, little off topic. What would be your walk-on song?
My walk-on song. I'll have to put some thought into that one, Arya. I'm not sure.
You can get back on that one. You can take as much time if you want. I don't think these ladies will go anywhere.
I like, although I'm not a country fan at all, I do like Federer's walk-on songs, 9 ball. Very fitting. Smooth with the bridge there, good technique.
Needs to decide whether she wants to land on the high side on the 6 here. I mean, if she can put a cue ball exactly where it is now, that would be ideal, but doesn't want to really flirt with the 9 ball.
Yeah, that's a nice target, middle table. Staying above the 6 is okay. Now, does she wrap this one around off 2 rails with the low and the right spin, or does she risk a touch of inside at the top? Going straight, looks like she's going to draw it. She does go with the inside spin. Good shot. Not as easy as she made it look.
Now she would love to come past the middle pocket there and you know, towards the first diamond, past the middle pocket.
Good shot.
Into the first diamond. There you go. Absolutely perfect on the 9. And rightly said there, Ben. That was a good shot.
Quality stuff here from her with 2 good outs in a row. I almost spoke too soon.
The 3 times champion of the world 9-ball. Showing once again her class here. So I suppose we slowly need to consider, is there a shootout coming our way?
In the first match of the tournament, could we be so lucky? I think momentum very much on Shasha's side right now, and she's got to be feeling confident out there. 2 good outs in a row, moving the cue ball around exactly where she wanted it. And you can see here from the stats, she has not played bad. That player overall performance quite high, 819 overall.
Yeah, and with the same token, the overall by Brittany has dropped significantly. It was in the high 700s. It's now almost 100 points down.
You can see that set 3 hurt. A few mistakes there, 4 missed shots in set 3 cost her. She only made 5 balls in that 3rd set. Rather, this set so far. One ball straight in. 2 balls going to dress up.
Wow. That's a handy kiss.
Yeah, just the 8 ball would be asking a question here, but I think the 8-10 combination's not bad. If she doesn't like it, she might be able to use the 4 to get it off the rail, maybe bump it, or bump the 10.
I was about to say, and you know, if you go for what you've just mentioned there, use the 4, that 5 ball, well, you would count yourself very unlucky not to land on the 5. She's a bit short here now on the 3 ball, so she'll have to come up and down if she's entertaining that shot.
I think that has to be written off now. Too hard to get perfect position on the 4 while coming up and down, but she might take a chance. If she doesn't get there, it's okay. She can still just get to the 5 and then maybe play a combination later, or she could contemplate using the 5 to move the 8. A little higher risk landing on the 6 off of that, but it's certainly there. And I think she always knows that that 8-10 combination is not bad. As long as she lands close to straight in on it, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, exactly. She did try to leave herself a good angle on the 4 into the side and overran the cue ball. So, like you said, probably the wisest way about this is settle for the 8-10 combination.
Well, we might think, why doesn't she just land between the 8-10 with the cue ball and shoot the 8 in a long pocket? Oftentimes we end up shooting too much over top of the 10. It just becomes such a hard shot. It's a higher percentage to land above it and play the combination. See what she looks at here, though. She could entertain coming between it, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's going to be above it, play the combination.
So this positional shot is really the key shot here. Obviously, you could say that's premature because even when you land straight onto the 8-10 combination, you still need to control the 8.
Yeah, the nice thing is they're both pretty much on the rail, so in order to make the 10, got to hit pretty full. Should keep the 8 right around the 10. First things first, try to land straight in. It's pretty good. Some pressure.
How would you play this? Roll this, small drawback, top spin.
I think I like the stop shot here, Arya. Nice and soft with the stop. Yeah, just like that.
Perfect.
Really good. And this is quality stuff from her. 3 big outs in a row.
Yeah.
Under lots of pressure, trying to make a comeback in this match after losing the first set.
After losing the first set, having trailed 2-0 in the final set, and now 3 racks on the spin. If she can dispatch these last 2 remaining balls, and not so sure if she was playing to run into the 10, but that's worked out nicely.
Certainly not. But yeah, it has worked out quite well. Straight in the side. But there are no gimmies into these side pockets. Good angle there, shows how tight they are. I can't say Brittany's really done anything wrong from up 2-0 rather. I think the kick safety went wrong and that was it.
Yeah, it's a fair statement, but you know, the 3 times champion of the world has picked up a gear and it is in her hands. She can run the set and the match in the upcoming break.
See, that balls pocketed stat is a big one there for me now. 56 for Brittany, 115 for Shasha. She's doubled her up on the balls pocketed, but only had 1 game.
Yeah. 10 ball, 9 ball. You can putt more balls and still end up losing.
It's a funny game. Watch this 1 ball towards the side pocket again. She seemed to have figured out this break more and more as the match went on. She could be dangerous as the tournament goes on if she figures out this break. Really great power. 1 ball straight in. She's going to have a shot on the 2.
This is the chance she was looking for, Ben.
Maybe just the 5. We can see it get kissed there a couple times. That might be the only tough ball. The 4 ball a long way away from it. She's got to be feeling great out there. Really turned it up a notch at the tail end of the match. That's what all the great players do. When the pressure mounts, they bring their best game.
Well said, Ben. You know, there's a favorite quote, and I believe it was out of the book Atomic Habits. And the statement is, when the pressure is on, we never rise to the occasion. We fall back to our highest form of preparation.
I love that quote. She lost her cue ball a little bit there, and she counted herself touch fortunate to be able to see the 4. She certainly wasn't trying to be between the 9 and the 7 with the cue ball. And she's kissed the 10, so what she got on the 5.
Does it putt from this angle?
No, I'm sure it can't.
I'm sure the referee will even go a bit closer if she would call the 5 into the top right. She hasn't.
Yeah.
Safety.
It's got to be just a safety. I'm sure he can't turn this one in, or can she? Maybe lots of left spin, you can throw it, but it has to be at a soft speed, and then there's no guarantee you're on the 6, so I'm not sure it's worth going for. I think she could use the 8 for cover with the cue ball while sending the 5 down table.
You could see the 6 was tracking towards the corner pocket, but yeah, that's a sensible shot.
A little short of the mark. I mean, if Brittany can come with a good safety here, we got a real chance at a shootout.
And we would hate that, wouldn't we, Ben?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Shot clock running out. Made that a bit tougher, but she's dealt with it really well. What a high quality shot this is to get the 5 behind the 9 and the 10.
Yeah, nailed it. Now she'll be trying to put the 5 in the corner pocket here.
Off 2 rails, I think. Aria, what do you think?
Yeah, I do think as well. 2 rails here. Let's have a closer look on the cue ball.
Yeah, lots of good things can happen when you come in that 2 rail angle.
Look, it's not easy, but it is a chance. Now you would think if she can make this 5, send her cue ball from side to side.
Well, then it'd be a real chance.
Then it'd be a real chance. That's nicely put.
It's a tough shot, though. This is a real tough one under pressure. So she's used her extension. Give herself a second longer to build up for it.
Could that 8 ball be a hindrance if she goes from side to side? Surely not. No, missed it.
Is it going to sit up over the side pocket? It is.
In all honesty, didn't even come close. And have a look at the cue ball. That 8 ball did come into play, but that's only because she's missed the 5 ball by such a margin.
But you're right that it may have been in the back of her mind there, just a little bit. Caused her to take her eye off the 5 a touch, worrying about the 8. I wondered if she would switch hands for the shot again, but not this time. Maybe not under this kind of pressure. Trying to close out the set.
And I think the 7 and the 9 are also a bit in her way as well.
That's a really good shot. She's got this cue ball right where she needs it.
Doesn't want to have to do anything with the 9 ball there. Just draw the cue ball back in between the massive gap between the 8 and the 9. Any angle on the 8 would do. Oh my days.
Unbelievable.
Well, Brittany, we're waiting for a shootout. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, can she bring us to the shootout? Lots of pressure out there on these 4 balls, but she's a big favorite from here. Two Rail speed looks good. That shot wasn't easy. The ball in the jaws like that, never easy to control. Curious if she plays the 9 in the side or the corner next. Definitely gotta like the side, the closer pocket under pressure, but keeping it simple, staying above it.
Now this is going to sound harsh, Ben, but I feel in a shootout, Shasha has the upper hand.
Well, and that's fair, but here's the thing with the shootout that I've noticed is it's often the player coming back. Because the player that had the chance to close it out first is not feeling so confident out there. And the player that came back is feeling confident. They're happy they got to the shootout. The other player is a bit disappointed it went to the shootout.
Down to the wire.
Yeah, giving the crowd what they came to see here in round 1. I'm loving it.
Four goes each.
Yeah, so they'll get 4 shots each, alternating sides. And if they're tied after those 4 shots, then they're going to move the cue ball back 1 diamond. And it will be sudden death from there. And whoever won the leg, which I believe is Brittany, will get to choose who shoots first and from which side. And I think you got to back yourself in these situations and shoot first. Try to put the pressure on your opponent. And so our referee just explaining the rules, and Brittany has made the choice to take on the first shot, and I like it. I think she likes to roll this, just kind of a middle ball. A lot of players like to wrap this one with the draw, but I think she likes to roll it. Just like that. Good shot. Pretty hard to scratch from there.
The grimace on the face says it all, doesn't it? Little puff of the cheeks. Well, Shasha up next.
That was good. The first one is tough.
Yeah.
I think the first one and the last one, obviously.
Would you even contemplate to play this type of shot with a bit of side spin, or just...
Yeah, just kind of a middle ball. If it is some running side spin, it's the smallest amount. Well, tight corner pockets. They're real tight. That one rattled.
Have a look at where the 10 ball is stopped. You can literally not get closer without putting it.
Yeah, watch this. It is so close. Wow. What a great replay that was. Well, it's in Brittany's hands now. She knows it. If she just makes these next 3, it won't matter what Shasha does. Close to that side pocket again, but I don't think we'll ever see it go in there.
No, not on these side pockets, that's for sure.
This is a big shot, because if she misses this one and Brittany makes the next one, it's over.
Yeah, this is to keep her still in the race.
Yeah, and she's got
essentially.
I'm sure she knows it. Don't want to be thinking about it too much, though, of course. But a big shot.
No. What is happening, Ben?
Well, it is so often, as I mentioned, Arya, the player that had the chance to win before the shootout is not the one feeling so confident out there. You can really see it here. Shasha missing the first two. Brittany making the first two. If she makes this one, it's over.
After a lot of racks played, it's all come down to this particular spot shot.
And she gets it. What a match. Fantastic stuff from both those ladies. Really high quality stuff. Nice to see. And that's it for Arya and I.